Okay, so for example 3, what we're looking at is when we have multiple things on the inside of the parentheses and then it's raised to a power on the outside. So it's kind of just applying what we just did, but where we have more than one thing on the inside of those parentheses. And what we do in this case is we are going to essentially distribute this power to everything that's on the inside. So AB to the power of m becomes A to the power of m, then B to the power of m. Or for the next one, 2x to the power of 3. We take this 3 and we're going to distribute it to the 2. And then we also distribute it to the x. So this becomes 2 to the power of 3 and also x to the power of 3. That 2 to the power of 3 we could evaluate. 2 to the power of 3 is 8. So this will give me 8x to the power of 3. And then same thing for the next one. I have 16x squared on the inside, and then my power on the outside is 1/2. So we kind of bring that to both of these, both the 16 and the x squared. So I would get 16 to the power of 1/2. And then remember, like what we just did, if I have a power on the inside, I multiply that times the power on the outside. So this gives me x to the power of 2 times 1/2. These we could evaluate further. 16 to the power of 1/2 would be 4. And then x to the power of 2 times 1/2, that would be x to the power of just 1, which is just x. So this would be 4x. Okay, so we can look at a few more examples of this. I've got multiple things here inside of the parentheses. 7 to the power of 3/4 times 7 to the power of 1/4. And then those are being raised to the power of 2. So this will give me, I'm going to distribute this power of 2 to both of these. So that gives me 7 to the power of 3/4 times 2. And then times 7 to the power of 1/4 times 2. The 3/4 times 2, that gives me 6/4. So 7 to the power of 6/4 times 1/4 times 2 would give me 2/4. So times 7 to the power of 2/4. Okay, but I can actually keep going on this one. Here I am multiplying two things together to these 7s. So I can add their exponents. So that would give me 7 to the power of 6/4 plus 2/4, which would give me 7 to the power of 8/4, because 6 plus 2 is 8. That gives me 8/4 is 2, because 8 divided by 4 is 2, and so that gives me 49. 7 to the power of 2 is 49. So we can do a similar thing for the next one. We have 9 to the power of -3/5 times 9 to the power of 1/5. Both of those are being taken to the power of -1. So that -1 goes to both of these. So we have 9 to the power of -3/5 times -1. And then that's multiplied times 9 to the power of 1/5 times -1. Let's see, the -3/5 times -1, that would make it a positive 3/5. And then 1/5 times -1, that would make it a negative 1/5. So I have 9 to the power of 3/5 times 9 to the power of -1/5. Here I can take, because I have two 9s being multiplied together, I can add their exponents. So I would take 9 to the power of 3/5 plus -1/5. And 3/5 plus -1/5 is 2/5. So we get 9 to the power of 2/5. Okay. We can look at an example that has both numbers and exponents. So we have 3x squared y. One thing to remember here is that this y would have kind of an invisible power of 1 here. So it's 3x to the power of 2 and then y to the power of 1. With this power on the outside, that needs to be brought to everything in here. So it's going to be brought to the 3, to the x squared, and to the y. So this would give me 3 to the power of 5, and then x to the power of 2 times 5, and y to the power of 1 times 5. Let's see, 3 to the power of 5, that would give me, what, 3, 9, 27, 81, and then 243. So 3 to the power of 5 would give me 243. X to the power of 2 times 5 is x to the power of 10, and y to the power of 1 times 5 would be y to the power of 5. Okay, on to the next one. We have, again, some multiple things in the parentheses being raised to the power on the outside. So we're going to take this power and distribute it to all three, or to everything that's on the inside of these parentheses here. So this gives me 27 to the power of 1/3, x to the power of 9 times 1/3, and y to the power of 6 times 1/3. Okay. Now remember that this 27 to the power of 1/3, that's the same thing as the cube root of 27, which is 3. So this becomes 3, and then x to the power of 9 times 1/3, that would give me x to the power of 3, and y to the power of 6 times 1/3 would give me y to the power of 2. So this gives me 3x cubed y squared, or 3x to the third power y to the second power. And that is all for example 3.